This one I shrink, right?
Yeah, but first make sure that it's, audio's muted here,
It is. Okay, good.
and you can shrink that one. All right, and then it says you are on YouTube.
So, welcome anybody in the audience. I don't see anybody live so far, but we're live for
Yeah.
now.
And we're still a minute ahead, so.
And we're still a minute ahead, so if you want to move in just slightly closer. Today we're going to do, this is a Thursday night Dhamma reflection. We're going to be working with a sutta. It's from the Itivuttaka, which is a collection of teachings that was given to this woman who was a servant of the queen. Was Bimbisara's wife. I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry, but her one of the servants was Kachutura, I think. But but these teachings were given, and she was able to memorize them and bring them back to the court and share them with the other ladies of the court. And it said they had entered the stream. And so this is
Samavati.
Samawati, Queen Samawati. Thank you. It was kind of an adventure to be here tonight. So I'm glad I'm here.
Yes.
And so we can start reading the sutta. This is called Very Helpful, and we're about to enter the Vasa, the rains retreat, and I and Yannicka here just happened to come upon it, and we both thought it was a really wonderful find, because I was thinking of something from the Itivuttaka for tonight, so it's very appropriate. So I'm going to read some, and this is we're trying to develop a method that I believe in the time of the Buddha, people really reflected on the words of the teachings, and so we're experimenting with a way that may be helpful for people. Where for me, I like to read various translations, and it helps it enter my heart in a different way than just reading one translation and just pondering it for a while. So if there's a verse or something that really resonates, to say it more than once, or just reflect internally on the words, may help it penetrate the heart. But if it's touching the heart, if brings up something in the heart, and then reflecting on it more, it becomes deeper in the heart. So hopefully this is an inspiration, just hearing the Buddha's words repeated. And I'm going to start out with Bhante Sujato's translation. This was said by the Buddha, the perfected one. That is what I heard. Mendicants, Brahmins, and householders are very helpful to you, and they provide you with robes, alms food, lodging, and medicines, and supplies for the sick. And you are very helpful to the Brahmins and householders, as you teach them the Dhamma that's good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, meaningful and well phrased. And you reveal the spiritual practice that's entirely full and pure. That is how the spiritual path is lived, supporting each other in order to cross the flood and make a complete end of suffering. Would you like to read? This is Ajahn Thanissaro's translation.
This was said by the Blessed One, said by the Arahant. So I have heard monks, brahmas, and householders are very helpful to you, as they provide you with the requisites of robes, alms food, lodgings, and medical requisites for the sick. And you, monks, are very helpful to Brahmins and householders, as you teach them the Dhamma, admirable in the beginning, admirable in the middle, admirable in the end, as you expound the holy life both in letter and meaning, entirely, complete, surpassingly pure. In this way, the holy life is lived in mutual dependence for the purpose of crossing over the flood, for making a right end to stress.
So this is John Ireland's translation I have here. This was said by the Lord. Bhikkhus, Brahmins and householders are very helpful to you. They provide you with the requisites of robes, alms food, lodgings, and medicine in time of sickness. And you, bhikkhus, are very helpful to the Brahmins and householders, as you teach them the Dhamma that is good on the onset, good in the middle, good in the end, with correct meaning and wording, and you proclaim the holy life in its fulfillment and complete purity. Thus, bhikkhus, this holy life is lived with mutual support for the purpose of crossing the flood and making a complete end of suffering.
Mutual support for the purpose of crossing the flood and making a complete end of suffering.
Crossing the flood and making a complete end of suffering. Do you have the Pali?
To do the verse?
The verses. Now
Sure.
we'll go with the stanzas, and now you can hear the Pali. Yannicka will read the Pali.
Sagara anagara cha ubo anyo nanisita aradayanti satang mang yoga kemang anuttarang.
The home dwellers and homeless, supporting each other, find success in true teaching, the supreme sanctuary from the yoke.
Householders and the homeless in mutual dependence both reach the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed safety from bondage.
Householders and homeless alike, each support for each other, both accomplish the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed security from bondage.
Pause for a while, or go right into the next. Sagare suchachivarang pachayang sayanasanang Anagara patichanti parisaya vinodanam.
The homeless receive requisites from the home dwellers, robes and lodging to shelter from harsh conditions.
From householders, the homeless receive requisites, robes, lodging, protection from inclemencies.
From householders, the homeless receive the basic necessities of life, robes to wear, and a place to dwell, dispelling the hardships of the seasons.
Sugatang pananisaya gahata garamesino sadahana arahatang ariyapanyaya jayino.
Relying on the Holy One, home-loving layfolk, place faith in the perfected ones, meditators of noble wisdom.
While in dependence on those well gone, home-loving householders have conviction in arahants of noble discernment, absorbed in jhana.
And by relying on one of good conduct, home-loving layfolk, dwelling in a home, place faith in the worthy ones, of noble wisdom and meditative.
Ida dhammang charitvana magang sugatigaminang nandino devalokasmim modanti kamakamino.
Having practiced the teaching here, the path that goes to a good place, they delight in the heavenly realm, enjoying all the pleasures they desire.
Having practiced the Dhamma here, the path leading to good destinations, delighting in the Deva world, they rejoice, enjoying sensual pleasures.
Practicing the Dhamma in this life, the path leading to a good born, those wishing for pleasure rejoice in the delights of the Deva world. So we can delight in the Brahma Viharas in this lifetime with the joy that comes from the good that we do in this life, the support that for our practice, that our kind acts, mutual support. The home dwellers and the homeless supporting each other find success in the true teaching, the supreme security from the yoke.
Householders and the homeless, in mutual dependence, both reach the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed safety from bondage.
Householders and homeless alike, each a support for the other, both accomplished in the true Dhamma. So we can sit for a little time. And we just leave you with the silence.
Do we want to go through each of the stanzas?
For me,
You are going to go through each of the stanzas? No.
we could. We could go through the stanzas again.
Just in three in rotation?
Okay. The home dweller and homeless supporting each other find success in the teaching, the supreme security from the yoke.
Householders and the homeless, in mutual dependence, both reach the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed safety from bondage.
Householders and homeless alike, each support for the other, both accomplish the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed security from bondage. The homeless receive requisites from the home dwellers, robes and lodgings, to shelter from harsh conditions.
From householders, the homeless receive requisites, robes, lodgings, protection from inclemencies.
From householders, the homeless receive the basic necessities of life, robes to wear and a place to dwell, dispelling the hardships of the seasons. Relying on the Holy One the home-loving lay folk place faith in the perfected ones, meditators of noble wisdom.
While in dependence on those well gone, home-loving householders have conviction in arahants of noble discernment, absorbed in jhana.
And by relying on one of good conduct, home-loving lay folk dwelling in a house place faith in those worthy ones of noble wisdom and meditative. Having practiced the teaching here, the path that goes to the good place, they delight in the heavenly realm, enjoying all the pleasures they desire.
Having practiced the Dhamma here, the path leading to good destinations, delighting in the Deva world, they rejoice, enjoying sensual pleasures.
Practicing the Dhamma in this life, the path leading to good born, those wishing for pleasure rejoice in the delights of the Deva world.
I'll repeat just the first stanza. Householders and the homeless in mutual dependence both reach the true Dhamma, the unsurpassed safety from bondage.
The home dwellers and the homeless, supporting each other, find success in the true teaching, the supreme security from the yoke. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we'll just sit for a few minutes and then leave you to your evening or whatever you're off to today. Sabbe Buddha Balapata Pachegananchayam Balam Arahantanancha Tejena Rakam Bandami Sabbasu. Have a blessed night.